Hello everyone, this is going to be my third video. My name is Anthony Mendoza at anthonys.geekdom, my new YouTube channel. If you hit like and subscribe, I will be able to get to go live sooner than later. And I hope that you guys leave me some questions under the comments. And if you do, I will read them the next video I make. So, today's video is going to be on my love of anime. And side story, I had dyslexia when I was 5 years old in kindergarten and diagnosed. And my parents found cartoons with subtitles on it, a good way for me to read. So when they found what they thought was a cartoon channel on a satellite TV way back in 1979, had they known it was violent anime, they probably wouldn't have let me watch it. But they just saw cartoon, didn't think anything of it, and parked me in front of the television. So my very first anime, one of the first memories I ever have was of watching Universal Century Gundam in 1979. So that series is my favorite series of all time. It goes from Universal Century Gundam, and then it goes into Zeta, then Double Zeta, and then it goes into 08th MS Team. From there, I believe it went to 080 War in the Pocket, then 083 Stardust Memory, and 086 it was Char's Counterattack. After Char's Counterattack was Unicorn. And then they had Gundam F91. That's the chronological order, not the release date order. And then after F91, they made an Origins prequel to the original series, which was in 2015. So that pretty much wrapped up the Universal Century timeline for you guys. But that is my favorite anime of all time. A very, very, very close second, if not tied for first, would be also Knights of Sidonia, which came out in 2014. Well, I'm here to actually talk about some older anime, like the first series of Gundam. So, didn't know if any of you guys are interested in retro anime, but I have some ones here that not everybody might know of. Gave the years that they're released. So 1972 anime was popular for me because I loved superheroes, and to me it was just like watching superheroes with battle suits, and that would be Science Ninja Team Gatchaman, and it came out in 1972, and it dealt with a bunch of scientists that were ninjas, and they were protecting us from an alien invasion. So that is a 1972 anime that I highly recommend. Kind of similar to, I guess, modern era of a bunch of people dressed up in super uniforms and super robots. Things of that nature. But it was more grounded in reality with no super robots, but vehicles. 1974. Yeah, this is going to start off a whole universe for me, for you guys. And it was considered the Leijiverse, which was Space Battleship Yamato back in 74. Then he did a 1977 Wukasi Robot Dawnguard. And then to complement within the same universe as Battleship Yamato, he came out with Captain Harlock in 1978, and 79 he came out with Galaxy Express 999. 82 he did Arcadia of My Youth, and after so that was the Leijiverse, and then later on in 1998 they came out with Queen Emeraldus, which tied into Captain Harlock. So there's that one. Many people know Robotech, but some people might not know out there that Robotech was actually taken from 3 non-related source titles, and the first one is Super Dimensional Fortress Macross, which came out in 1982, and Harmony Gold, who made Robotech, turned those 3 series into a cohesive unit when the original Macross, the 3 series, weren't tied into each other. So there's Super Dimensional Fortress once again in 1982. Along with that universe, they had Super Dimension Century Orgus 1 and 2, which has nothing to do with Macross, but it's done by the same company and shares the title Super Dimension. I really enjoyed Super Dimension Orgus 2 more so than 1, but I find them very great mecha anime for those that want to do some retro watching. The anime still holds up. To me, it still holds up, and it's about rifts in time, and the second one, Orgus 2, really stood out to me. Well, in that same universe, there was Super Dimensional Cavalry Southern Cross, which came out in 84, and then Genesis Climber Mospeada also came out in 1983. Now, the release date that Robotech did would be putting Genesis Climber Mospeada as the last section. Super Dimensional Cavalry Southern Cross was the second part of Macross. But within the Macross universe, they were separate, not in Robotech, though. Alright, so those are some of the animes that I loved. There was 2 more in here. One from 1982, which was Space Adventure Cobra, and a very adult animated satire adventure that I loved. And then the other one, which is a mecha. I love my mecha anime, which is in 1982 called Armored Trooper Votons. Those are some of my favorite animes from retro world. I will make some more retro videos from the 80s, higher 80s, and to today. Well, at least to the 2000, because anything now 20 years old is considered retro. So to me, those are my favorites. I have some side note ones here as well. 1975, I forgot to mention, the Space Knight Tekkaman, the Space Knight. 1974, they made a remake in the late 90s, mid-90s, of Tekkaman Blade. That's a retelling of the original that I just mentioned, Tekkaman, the Space Knight. That was a little more colorful, not such great anime style, but I still loved the story. And 2 super robot animes that I really, really enjoyed from the early 70s was Mazinger Z from 1972 to 74, and Giant Robo 1970, or not Giant Robo, Getter Robo from 1974. Giant Robo was a 1990s series. But my 2 retro super robot animes, once again, were Mazinger Z, 1972 to 74, and Getter Robo, 1974. Alright, sorry about the camera difficulties there, but we had some technical difficulties, and leave those like and subscribe on my channel, which is Anthony's.Geekdom, and I will hope to hear from you guys soon. All right, it's been a pleasure. Have a good night.